Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome you to the Bristol Motor Speedway for race number 8 of the 2015 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. We're live here getting ready for the Food City 500 in honor of Steve Byrnes and Stand Up to Cancer. We are going to be racing for 50 laps on our second short track race of the year. On the first of the back-to-back short tracks, as we go Richmond racing next weekend, we got to finish up Bristol this weekend, and we have the two Penske Fords on the front row. Joe Logano in the 22 and his teammate Brad Keselowski in the number 2. And then we got another Ford, Greg Biffle with a season best starting spot. Biffle will roll off third alongside the number 11 of Denny Hamlin. Last year's Rookie of the Year contenders, Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon, will be on row 3, with the Joe Gibbs teammates right behind Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth. Kevin Harvick and Paul Menard will complete your top 10. That 20 car, Matt Kenseth, he has won a most recent short track race back at Martinsville, and then right behind him, Kevin Harvick in the 4 is our most recent winner in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, coming off his second win of the year last weekend at Texas. That is pretty much all of the pre-race news. Now we're going to send you down to your starting grid for today's Food City 500 in honor of Steve Byrnes. As we have just gotten the most famous words in motorsports, the engines are now fired up, and we are going to be getting ready to go racing for 50 laps of racing here at Bristol. Thunder Valley, the nickname of this racetrack, and all 42 cars rolling off pit lane onto the track. 3 drivers did not make the show. The premium number 62 team of Brendan Gaughan, they failed to qualify, along with the 33 team of Alex Kennedy, and the Go Fast Racing number 32 team of Reed Sorensen. So Logano and Keselowski. Your front row, Logano does not have a win, but Brad does. Biffle does not have a win, but Denny Hamlin also does not have a win. Coming down to the green flag, we're on the way from Bristol. The 50 lap should begin. See with Joe Logano getting us underway. And Keselowski getting a pretty good push here from Denny Hamlin. He'll stay up in second place. Hamlin trying to hang on to third as Biffle trying to get some momentum and some grip on the inside. He has Kyle Larson behind him. And Josh Wise is on pit road in the 98 car. Possibly a flat tire on the 98. The top 3 is really checked out already. Denny Hamlin now looks on the inside of the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Denny has had a history with both of the Penske drivers, Logano and Brad Keselowski. We are now under caution. The 40 of Landon Castle has crashed. Down here in turn 1, you see the damage on the left side of that 40 carforsales.com Chevrolet. And Danica Patrick gets turned on the inside wall by Casey Mears. Some pretty good contact with driver's side for the number 10 of Danica Patrick. Landon Castle spun out, and Josh Wise is right now being scored 1 lap down in that 98 car. And Castle runs right in the back of J.J. Yaley, possibly some payback. Castle to Yaley. But right here, they're right outside the top 30, and they're coming right off turn number 4. It looks like the 47 of A.J. Allmendinger had a run on Landon Castle. Possibly Castle came down or Allmendinger came up. One of those 2 scenarios. And right there, we just hooked in. Castle went driver's side into the pit road safer barrier. That's pretty much the same thing we saw with Danica Patrick as she got turned by Casey Mears on the same exact lap. And they both got some damage on the left side of their Chevrolets, but both are rolling on the track fine, and Josh Wise is the only car lap down, but this game will not allow lucky dogs, so he's going to be trapped 1 lap down. Joe Logano is your race leader. And we'll be going back to green in just a couple of laps. Logano is out in front of Denny Hamlin. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, and Kevin Harvick are now your top 5. Carl Edwards 6, Greg Biffle, Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, and Tony Stewart. Matt Kenseth, Paul Menard, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Sam Hornish Jr., and Austin Dillon in the top 15. And then Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, Jed Burton, Kyle Busch, and Michael McDowell in your top 20. And let's give a shout out to some of the guys who qualified up front, beginning with this guy, Jed Burton, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders. What a great run in qualifying Jeb had. Qualified 17th in this number 26 BK Racing Toyota. Also having a great run in qualifying was Michael McDowell, qualified 14th in that 95 team, at 95 Levine Family Racing. And Matt DiBenedetto in that 83, who has drifted all the way back to 33rd. He had a great run in qualifying, making it to round 2. And completing the field is Landon Castle in 41st place. But Josh Wise, like we said, is actually now 2 laps down in that 98, and he's actually going to be restarting behind Hamlin and in front of Keselowski. So we'll see how this will work out. Phil Parsons racing number 98 team. Looking at the top 5, and it looks like 3 of them have not been in victory lane yet this season. Logano this year, 1 year ago, he already had a win. So did Denny Hamlin. And coming out turn number 4, the green flag waves once again on lap number 9 of 50. Logano loses back on the way. Hamlin now looking to the inside, coming off turn 2. He stays right behind the 22 now. Then all of the leaders trying to get around the 98 of Josh Wise. Edwards gets by, Newman gets by. Now here comes the 16 of Greg Biffle. This is what a lot of these guys back here have to be patient about getting around this 98 car. And we have a car getting turned. That's Matt DiBenedetto getting turned into the inside wall. No, he keeps it off the wall, but we have Landon Castle and Danica Patrick on pit road. So is Clint Boyer in the 15. So problems with the 15 to Clint Boyer, who's had a pretty good past couple of races, has moved up in the points, and we have a lot of damage on the front end of that 34 of Brett Moffitt. A lot of front end damage on that CSX Ford Front Row Motorsports, as he has been in the back, the rear end of somebody. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88, Jeff Gordon 24. A lot of the Hendrick cars have been struggling tremendously this weekend. So it looks like 3 drivers have now been put a lap down, as we have some guys coming down pit road being led by Brad Keselowski. Alright, right here is where the contact's gonna take place. Right here, Alex Bowman's gonna turn Matt DiBenedetto down, but Matt does a great job at keeping it off the inside wall. And Matt drives away, but Brett Moffitt and up here Jeff Gordon got turned around. That's what happened. The 24 Jeff Gordon gets turned around. Winner from California, racing with Jed Burton. It looks like Jeb's going to turn Jeff Gordon up into the outside wall. Allgaier gets by, Kurt Busch gets by, but Brett Moffitt looks like he already had damage. Possibly ran into the 38, his teammate of all drivers, 38 of David Gilliland. Pretty good damage on that 34 Moffitt too. I'm not sure if he'll be able to continue, and he is not going to be able to continue, so Brett Moffitt will finish last today at Bristol. So some drivers, like we mentioned before we showed the replay, came down pit road. Let's show the drivers who stayed out, beginning with leader Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards, Ryan Newman, and Tony Stewart. Matt Kenseth, Ricky Stenhouse, Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch. Michael McDowell, Trevor Bayne, Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers, Jed Burton, Justin Allgaier, Kurt Busch, David Reagan, E.J. Allmendinger, and Martin Truex. David Gilliland, Eric Almirola, Dale Jr., Casey Mears, and Cole Witt, Alex Bowman. And the first guy on first tires is Kevin Harvick, Casey Kane, Sam Hornish, Brad Keselowski, Greg Biffle, Dillon, Menard, Larson, Annette, DiBenedetto, and Yaley. Clint Boyer is 1 lap down, so is Danica Patrick, Landon Castle. Josh Wise is 2 laps down, and Brett Moffitt is off track. He is in the garage out of the race. Only 15 laps into this race. Everybody honoring Steve Byrnes this weekend as he is fighting cancer, and all these drivers are racing to try to get a win for Byrnes. Logano out in front of Denny Hamlin. We all remember the race back here in 2013. Denny and Joey getting together. going for the win. So we got the bad end of that deal, and then he got the worst end of the deal. Next week, we get California. Edwards right now sits third. He does not have a win yet this season with Joe Gibbs Racing. Matt Kenseth, the only driver of the Gibbs camp to have a win. That came at the last short track race back at Martinsville. Right now, Matt is running in 6th place. And coming down pit road now is the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. So trouble for the Lowe's Chevrolet as he possibly has a tire going down. And Josh Wise making another unscheduled pit stop in the 98. 35 Cole Witt all the way up near the wall. Casey Kane trying to come up through the middle. There's Boyer on the inside. Danica Patrick on the inside of Alex Bowman. Ooh. Really easy to get on the inside of somebody right on that left corner panel. And coming off a turn, you can easily turn somebody. And Wise will go, looks like a 4th lap down. And Johnson will go a lap down in that 48 car. And Jeb Burton, who started up front, kind of fell back a little bit, but after the pit cycle we just had, all this pit strategy going on, Jeb is now back up inside the top 20, and Allgaier gets turned by Casey Mears. Comes back up the track. Allgaier does, almost takes out Casey Mears. That's the second driver today we've seen Casey almost turn. Yes, he did actually turn Danica Patrick earlier in the race. Kyle Busch on the inside of his teammate Matt Kenseth. That is for 8th place. McMurray's gotten around both of them, and right now he's in 7th. Stenhouse up the track into the outside wall goes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We have trouble up ahead. Was that Austin Dillon smoking on the apron? Austin Dillon won yesterday's Xfinity race and had a great run in qualifying. Started 6th, but looks like he is not going to get the good end of the deal today. He's got where that Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon made unscheduled pit stops. The 4 and the 24. You already saw the 48 making an unscheduled pit stop. And it looks like Denny Hamlin will be coming down pit road. So we're probably going to see all the guys who stayed out the first times come down pit road, and guys who came down the second time or the first time, they'll probably stay out. Danica's a lap down, so is Boyer. So it looks like Kyle Larson could be in a good spot. Greg Biffle, Brad Keselowski. The caution came out for the number 3 of Austin Dillon in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Let's take a look at what happened as Dillon has took his car behind the wall. Possibly some contact from Kyle Larson in the 42. Trying to get around the 5 of Casey Kane, and right there Larson turns Dillon. Driver side by more of a head-on impact than we saw with Danica Patrick earlier in the race and Matty Benedetto. But Dillon got the worst of it, and you see all the damage 3 car has, and he's going to take that car behind the wall into the garage. And Dillon stay at started out as a good weekend, winning yesterday's Xfinity race. Will lead in disaster here in the Cup races. The Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet is up in smoke, heading towards the garage. From bringing out the caution to going to the race lead, Kyle Larson's now your new race leader. Austin Dillon is now out of the race. We have a lot of guys to lap down. They are Jimmy Johnson, Danica Patrick, Clint Boyle, Landon Castle, and Kevin Harvick, who's at the tail end of the lead lap, or the field. Jeff Gordon is 2 laps down. Josh Wise is 3 laps down. Larson, Greg Biffle, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards to top 5. Actually, J.J. Yaley stayed out, so Yaley is now 4th in that 23 car. And Biffle and Keselowski jost by the 24. Biffle sideways goes out the track, and Yaley, you see that 23, he is much slower than everybody else. And Keselowski makes it 3 wide for 2nd place on Greg Biffle, and he's going to almost get turned into the wall by Jeff Gordon. And Yaley just trying to stay out of trouble, but of course he does not want to give up all those spots. And Johnson making it 3 wide, almost turns Biffle. Kevin Harvick trying to stay 1 lap down, right now running 38th in that 4 car. Kyle Larson looking for his first career win, 20 laps away. He stayed out. Can he make it on fuel? And we got a lot of guys. And Johnson and Hamlin makes contact. They're up in the outside wall. Hamlin up in the outside wall. Logano on the apron. Hamlin comes down. Jeff Gordon almost turns to Logano, and he does turn Logano. Up the track into Carl Edwards. No, Edwards stays out of it, but Vickers piles in. Jeb Burton, Brian Vickers, a lot of guys getting involved. That was just because drivers just being too aggressive and would not stay, oh man, we got a lot of guys. Danica Patrick spinning, and all these guys have to be careful not running into each other. Allmendinger goes around. Stewart's now going around, and they're just running into each other like a bunch of idiots. And Michael Annett gets rear-ended by Paul Menard. A lot of damage on the 27 of Menard. And now on Sam Hornis Jr. and his teammate Eric Almirola in the 43. That was uncalled for, and that was all their fault. Just running into each other, and Kyle Larson and Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch is now a lap down, 2 laps down to be in fact. And all this started was once again drivers just being too aggressive, and you see all the damage on the 22 Logano. A lot of Fords taken out in this crash. You see Logano, Almirola, Byrnes. Right here is when the caution came out. Logano actually coming off right down here in the turn 1. All cars scattered coming off turn 4. Gordon comes down, and he's just gonna McMurray turned Gordon down into Logano. Carl was able to stay out in front of that, but Vickers, Yaley, they all pile in. Casey Mears, Cole Witt. And right there, it looks like everything was going to be okay until Cole Witt then turns Danica Patrick around. Casey Mears runs right into Danica. Brian Vickers in the 55. Ever since he won the Daytona 500, it's not been a great stretch of races for Vickers. And right there, Allmendinger gets turned around. Stewart, Truex, and there they come, all piling in. Annett, Menard, Byrnes, and Almirola. So it will be 14 laps remaining here at Bristol. Kyle Larson trying to pick up his first career win in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Brad Keselowski looking for another win at Thunder Valley. Third place is Greg Biffle looking for his first win in over 2 years. Fourth place is Ryan Newman, same with the 31 team. And Denny Hamlin fell all the way back to 5th. Then teammate Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth 6th and 7th. His former teammate Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 8th. And McMurray and Tony Stewart make up your top team with David Reagan in 11th place. Coming down. 13 to go. Can Keselowski get around the 42? He makes the move to the inside. Brad looking for a second win. That could put that 2-car in the chase. We saw that Kevin Harvick did that last weekend, but remember, Larson stayed out of pit road. So did Keselowski. So can they make it on fuel? Logano on pit road, so is JJ Yaley. And of course, and there they go, wrecking again. Kurt Busch gets turned around in turn 1. And Logano on pit road in the 22. His tough break continues. His tough race continues in Yaley. So they'll be slowed down once again as Kurt Busch, who started in 24th today. 6-time Bristol winner, not going to be 7 today, as right here looks like Cole Witt comes up into Casey Mears, and Kurt Busch just an innocent bystander, not sure what that was about. And Vickers slides up into Mears, Danica Patrick just trying to get by. So Kyle Larson just looking for his first career win. Remember, he finished 2nd in his first Bristol start in the Xfinity Series. Finished 2nd to Kyle Busch. We all remember that race. The first of many surprises by Kyle Larson in his young career. And he will have 7 laps remaining. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Greg Biffle, Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Tony Stewart, Jamie McMurray, and Matt Kenseth. David Reagan, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex, Justin Allgaier, Casey Kane, Michael McDowell, Alex Bowman, David Gillen, Cole Witt, and Matt DiBenedetto having another great run in that 83 car. DiBenedetto, Gillen, Witt, McDowell, all having great runs. But Kyle Larson, can he hang on? 7 to go from Bristol. And Keselowski gets another great jump on the 42. Larson slides up the track. Keselowski trying to take advantage of it. Kyle Busch right in the back bumper of the two of Keselowski. Can these front runners make it on fuel? Can we go any stretch of laps without a caution? David Gillen on pit road and Kurt Busch coming down pit road. Kyle Busch, the third car you see, he is a lap down. I believe he has to 2 laps down maybe. Keselowski right there, he needs to make a move before another caution will come out, because you know another caution will come out. That's just the way it is. Kyle Larson just trying to hang on right now. Ryan Newman now in third place with Denny Hamlin in fourth. Carl Edwards now up in the fifth. Stenhouse gets around his teammate Greg Biffle for sixth place. 4 to go for Kyle Larson. Can he hang on? Just 4 more laps to go. And if Larson wins this race, we will know that at least one of the drivers who made the chase last year will not make the chase this year. Larson trying to make the chase in his sophomore year. Keselowski trying to get a win to put him officially in the chase like Harvick did last week. Hamlin trying to get around Ryan Newman. Johnson in the wall. Stenhouse gets by the 48s. David Gillen coming out the track. Oh, watch out, Larson. And here comes Keselowski to the inside. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. And Keselowski, Gillen. Looks like Brad will clear Larson by Ken Gillen. Hold the 2 car up. Brad gets by. He uses David Gillen as a pick. And what a heartbreak this will be. But Brad Keselowski will win the race at Bristol. A slower car coming off pit road, merging onto the racetrack, costs Kyle Larson his first career win in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, and the win will go to Brad Keselowski in the 2 car, his 3rd career win at Bristol. What a heartbreak for Larson, but what a great pass up for the lead by Brad Keselowski. Keselowski had himself in the right position and was able to take advantage of the 38 car coming out the track. He saw what was going to go on, and Brad Keselowski is your winner today at Thunder Valley. Kyle Larson will come home second. Another race that could have been won by the kid, but he will come home second. Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin, and Carl Edwards, your top 5. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, and another great run for Jimmy McMurray in that 1 car, as he could possibly be the points leader coming out of this race. Martin Truex, David Reagan, a nice run. Justin Allgaier, Allmendinger, and Casey Kane. Michael McDowell, Alex Bowman, Jeb Burton, career best. Same with Bowman, McDowell. Matt DiBenedetto getting a top 20. Cole Witt, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Trevor Bayne, Dale Jr. A lot of guys had to make unscheduled pit stops, and this David Gillen. And Paulson and Joey Logano all the way back in 35th place. And then you see Paul Menard, Michael Annett, Sam Hornish, and Eric Almirola. Those 4 drivers did not finish the race. So that is all for the Bristol weekend. The Xfinity Series won by Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski, the winner for today's race here at Bristol. Next weekend we are not done with short track racing yet. Next weekend we are heading to Richmond International Raceway. So we'll see you next weekend at Richmond under the lights. Joey Logano won there last year. Can he go 2 for 2 and get his first win of the year? We'll find out as the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series will be racing live from Richmond next weekend. Until then, congrats to Brad Keselowski on his 2nd win of 2015 and becomes the 2nd driver to win 2 races this year. Brad Keselowski, the winner at Bristol, and he is the winner of the Food City 500 in honor of Steve Byrnes and Stand Up to Cancer. Goodbye, everyone.